Basically, the first 3 blocks that were developed. The streets weren't even in. There's a tree, there's a stone. The area in between is your property. Go clear it. And build yourself some kind of a dwelling. The canal. They deliberately left some remnant.
For my family.
It's a little cool this morning. Yes, for sure, for sure. One of my planes like these, not the wooden ones, but yeah. So he showed me how to use them when I was a boy. I'm not much themselves. Wanted to name the community after John Johnson, so we did one. And the king's son, head of the military in Upper and Lower Canada at the time, was here on an official visit, and one of his titles was Duke of Cornwall, so they renamed it in his honor at that time, and it was really the right thing to do. How I ordered it. The customization was the beveled edge mirrors, decorative trim and tile. We've never found one identical. And Silver Star, Quebec brand, was really short-lived, so there probably weren't a lot of them made, and therefore not too many have survived. So it might even be one of a kind, but you know, it's a basic wood. Twice a year was a source of commercial ice harvesting. The average one would be.
Ice baths.
Just put them on top the ice.
Basic
The
physics, the
cool
cold
down,
settles, so a 25, 30-pound block of ice settles. There's a tube behind. You put a pan below to catch the melting water, the drip pan, which you could use or just pitch up.
In the ground in the mountain.
Yeah.
And all the village people have to come in the winter to harvest the ice to bring it.
A schoolgirl, you know, people used to give their teacher a gift at Christmas, right?
Okay.
Many times. This was a family that was not of means, and so her father made this for her to give to her teacher.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Nice.
Black and Van Arsdale, 2 brothers-in-law, and they had a semi-automated process, so per capita they made more than any of the other potters. Therefore, more of their product has survived, including butter churns, butter jugs.
Nice.
These ones don't bear their name, but they made them. They bear the merchant's name. Moved in 2000, but they collected the rainwater. Charles Beach, he moved a furniture making business from nearby Mooresburg to Cornwall, and this particular set was made in his factory, and it's one of a kind. It was in their family home. It was a prototype. They were trying to develop a product line that the more contemporary market would accept. So it's actually patterned after those 1950s chrome sets. Do you know what I mean? They made that Windsor back claw armchair, and they made this. Our souvenirs from the 1915-25 they opened, and they were here till 1992. They made 2 lines of carpeting. One of their plants made cellophane, food wrap, that sort of thing. They had fine yarn for high-end garments.
Okay.
They made tire threads. They made parachute material. Came down to the whole thing packed up and moved to the city. Yet the city really wants it developed. So
That's bad.
it is bad, yeah. These are some of the papers they made. In the early years, they made many different grades, different colors, different embossed finishes. Always fine paper, though. It wasn't newsprint or anything. They pushed the price down. Xerox did a Catholic bishop of the point shooting the rapids. Gentleman's study. Sometimes in a little more upscale home, you'd have rooms like the 2 in the front here. It's you know, for business, but also to relax with one's friends. You know, have a smoke. Maybe there's a spittoon over there. I don't smoke nor chew tobacco. It's kind of gross person. That's a 1900 studio camera that still functions, by the way.
Wow.
And the portraits, Judge Pringle wrote the first history of the district. Lionel Chevrier, a local lawyer, was the federal minister of transportation at the time of the Seaway creation, and by far its principal advocate. He's usually referred to. And it just, the idea is you just pressure
That's right.
creates
A sailed, yeah.
yeah.
For the documentation. Oh,
She
wow.
was the only person.
What's her name?
Barbara Markham. And she's widowed twice, so the name has changed, but her maiden name is Markham. So that's one of the gowns that Cordalls, who you saw in there, the Cordalls Company, commissioned and for Canada, but more specifically, you know, of course, very important in this region. She asked the mayor of the day to sponsor Eric. I've never written.
Wow.
Yeah. Saw tin roofs on bars even, right? This is our retail room. So Mark from Venice, we had artisans come over to. I didn't know that until I saw this at a market one day. Ready to get hurt. Type of Art Deco style. Second largest of 4 Cornwall Township cotton mills, and this was it in its heyday. We're right about here. The condo's here today, and on the vacant lot, that was the brewery that we talked. 1897. Storage mirrors, more of the corporate seals, including a more modern version of over 19. The military collection is small, but it's broad. So we have World War I helmet and gas mask. We have World War II medals, medals of Fenian raids, 1812. This is a World War II military uniform or partial uniform.
Definitely. That was already I think they're not much.
This from about 4 years ago, under schools was the norm here in Ontario until 1969 when the regulations were changed. They went to a regional school and then they moved it into colleges and later colleges and universities. So the other hospital, they were celebrating their 50th anniversary of commemorative to that school of nursing, and it's for me to order them forced into closure.
Place.